Yeah, just while I think of it, just show you a little bit about Christine the Range Rover. This is Carmen. We call her Carmen because she's got a name written on the side there, see? Carmen. Yeah, convertible Nissan Micra, quite rare. You don't see many of those around actually. She's a nice little car though, goes well. Anyway, this is Christine. This is all, I call her Christine because she's a bit possessed. For anyone who's seen the Stephen King movie called Christine, it's about a car who's possessed and goes around killing people. Well, this Christine doesn't kill people, but she's definitely possessed, there's no doubt about it. One of the things she loves doing is locking and unlocking the doors. Up you go, Benji likes to hop in. Good boy. If you leave it unattended with the doors unlocked, then she'll just lock them, and then she gets nervous and thinks she's done the wrong thing, so she'll unlock them again, and this goes lock, unlock, unlock, unlock. It keeps going until the battery goes flat. It doesn't do it all the time, which makes things awkward. I was 2 days ago I think it was, I left her sitting here just like this, had the windows open and it was unlocked, and left her sitting all day, and when I came back in the afternoon the battery was dead flat. Anyway, which brings me to this arrangement. So obviously got an extension cord coming from the mains power inside the house, and plugged into here, and that goes to, just open the bonnet, that goes to a C-Tech battery charger I've got under the bonnet. So here we are under the bonnet. Now this is actually a C-Tech, it's actually a motorbike charger. Yeah, and she's charging. Yeah, it's a motorbike charger, and it charges, it's for all lead acid batteries, but it only charges at 0.8 amps. So it's very, very slow, and very small charge, but it's plenty to keep this engine alive, because if I just left this car for 2 or 3 days, the battery would just go dead flat with it's locking and it's not just the locking and unlocking of doors, there's something else draining the power, but I don't know what it is, and rather than look for it and get all upset about it, I just leave this charger plugged in. So that's it, and it just goes to the front there with a normal 3-point plug, and I've got it connected to the battery there and there. So this is what's called a Range Rover, or a Rover 4.6 litre V8 Thor engine, as opposed to the previous iteration, which was a GEMS engine, which is pretty much exactly the same, but the fuel injection induction system is different on these. This came out in '99 and stayed like this until, I'm not sure, it was when BMW started putting their engines in later on, a few years later. But yeah, it seems a good engine, does the job. A common to many of them actually is that the batteries mysteriously go flat overnight, or over the period of a couple of days, and there's a couple of different theories. Well, the main theory is that there's an RF receiver in here, just behind this window, that works talks to the key. So for the electronic locking device, you can lock the car where they're close enough range, like this close, without that RF thing working. But what happens if it picks up a strange RF signal, the computer never properly shuts down, so it's always on, or switching on and switching off, switching on, switching on, and so during the night it will drain the battery. This thing does that, but I don't think it's that RF thing causing the problem. I think it's something else. I've replaced this door latch in here, $800 and something, but I'm still having problems with the car mysteriously locking itself whenever it feels like it, and I think the one on the opposite side there may be at fault, but I really don't know. Now here's another trick I wanted to show you. Not many cars can do this. Now notice I've hopped out and the window's open, and it doesn't matter which window's open or how many windows are open, including the sunroof. If I push and hold the if I push the lock button and hold it for 2 seconds, you watch, it locks and the window goes up. How cool's that? Yeah, that's why I love my Landy. So inside old Christine here, after I sold my motorbike, I had a few bits and pieces like the fire extinguisher left over, so I've stuck her in there just in case. You never know with this old girl. I've got a wireless battery, wireless phone charger there. This here is connected to the Parrot. The Parrot is a device which sits in behind the radio, and it talks to your phone via Bluetooth. You can stream music, use your phone, hands-free phone. Microphone's up there. There's a little screen that just tells you what's going on when it's on, and it really is just a hands-free phone kit, but it's a reasonably expensive one. I think it was $300 and something, but it does away with the need to want to change the audio system to one of these modern AirPlay systems or a double din system, which does fit in there if you cut it out. But I didn't want that. I wanted to sort of keep the originality of it, and the radio's good. I don't know, but I think it's a Clarion brand. It's not written on it anywhere, but I'm pretty sure that's what they did. And the whole system is Harman Kardon, which is supposed to be good. And it works perfectly, so there's no point in changing it. So I put the Parrot system in. It sits in behind the radio. It's all plug and play. Just plugs into the same plugs on the back of the radio. And yeah, it gives me phone and music, and it connects to my iPhone instantly. I've got a controller on the steering wheel just there, so I can answer the phone, and I can play music and pause it and advance to the next song and all that sort of stuff. So it works exactly like an AirPlay thing, without the hassle of doing it and without the cost, obviously. Yeah, so that's that. I have got a reversing camera here, but yesterday it fell off in the heat. Now it's a real laugh, this reversing camera. Oh, I'll just leave it there for now. It's supposed to sit up there on the windscreen, but it's been so hot here it just fell off. But the funny thing about it is that it's when I first installed it, the cable wasn't long enough to reach to the camera at the back of the car, from the back of the car to this unit. Now, so what I did was I went on to Wish and bought myself a wireless kit that can connect the camera at the rear of the car to the screen. It works really well, but the funniest thing is there's one particular house here, it's never happened anywhere else, but there's a house here in Papamoa that every time you drive past the house, this little internal wireless network inside the car here picks up their bloody television. And it's Indian television, so you can get, the house is on a corner, so for about 100 meters either side of the corner as you drive around the house, you can watch Indian TV on my little screen. It's absolutely hilarious. I've never seen it anywhere else. It only happens at that particular house. It just must be on the same what do you call it? Address, IP address as the router in that particular house. Yeah, absolutely hilarious. Anyway, yeah, that's old Christine. In here I've got, actually, it's all covered in sand because the dogs go to the beach every day, but if you lift this up, that actually tips over like that and goes down like that. Looks a bit more respectable, all the sand falls out. So that's good. But inside here I've just got, I've extended the cigarette lighter is down here. It's there, you see. And there's no room to muck around with plugging things in and what have you, so I ran a wire from there into this box here, and I wired in this. So I've got 3 outlets. I've got 2 USB on the front there. Yeah, that's all. And then, so I've got a high powered USB, that's a 3.4 watt or amp output cigarette thing to run the wireless charger for the phone. That there runs the camera, reversing camera. And what else have I got? Oh, I've got other bits and pieces. There's a spare camera. I got that camera with the second kit I bought, but I don't need it. But anyway, a spare camera if I need it. Yeah, let's carry other bits and pieces. Oh, we're looking for that. It's a little magnetic thing, like a phone holder, magnetic phone holder. I can also plug that into the into this gizmo here, and it gives me another USB outlet. Plug that in there like that. That gives me another USB. So yeah, no issues. It's untidy, but it works. Oh, and that thing there, I use. I'll put that on windscreen for this camera. But that fell off in the heat yesterday as well, so it can just stay there for now. What else have we got? Oh, I just want to see this. That belongs to that screen. I can go there. Glasses. Just in here, I've got a cable that is connected directly to the parrot system. There it is there. Now it just gives you the ability to, you can plug a USB stick in there, or you can plug it into any other device. It's got a 3.5mm thing, and then it'll go, and you know, for devices that don't have Bluetooth, you can plug it in directly. So that's quite clever. And then what I do is I plug in the USB in there, and then I've got these, so that I can plug in an old Apple device. I've got the lightning plug for new Apple devices. Oops. I've got a new a mini USB and a mini USB, whatever that is. Got that as well. So yeah, so it doesn't matter what device you've got when you hop into this car, whether you're a passenger or what. If you don't have Bluetooth, you can plug into the audio system. So it just sits in there. Again, it's a bit untidy, but I don't know. It's not a flash car, this. I mean, it's a Range Rover, but it's not flash by any stretch of the imagination. Right, while I'm here, I just forgot to show you this little thing. Now, in my glove box here, with a Range Rover, you've got to be sort of prepared for lots of things. So in the glove box here, I've got a emergency starter battery thing, torch obviously, and duct tape, I don't know what that is, and a Leatherman, oops, Daisy, that is shot there, the Leatherman multi-tool thing, just for emergencies. Now if I open this up, this happened to me yesterday, and I don't know why it happens, but it did. I hopped in, went down to the beach, like I normally do, to take the dogs for a walk, and when it came back to the vehicle to start it up, the battery was flat. It just wouldn't. It had enough to almost turn the engine over, but it wasn't enough to fire it up. So I keep this in here for just those sorts of emergencies. So it's just a little starter. Doesn't look much, but it'll start this engine. And I've already done 2 starts on that yesterday. And it still seems to have plenty of grunt in it. I mean, if you turn the power on, the lights come on. Like you've got 5 lights there still. So you've still got plenty of horsepower. And there's your connectors in there. Hard to see this with one hand. Just quite a simple arrangement there. A couple of clips go on the battery, and then that plugs into the device in there. Just in there, see? So that's how that works. Jump starter thing. So that's for that. Just another thing. This mirror, rear vision mirror, is actually, I don't know, if you look under there you can see it's clipped on to the original mirror. And the reason I bought that was because the original mirror is stuffed. It's got some sort of LCD screen on it, and all the liquid is drained out of it, and it's all weird. It doesn't work as a mirror or anything. So rather than replace the whole mirror, which is super expensive, I just got this thing off Wish. So it's a mirror. It's got a forward-facing camera there. So it's a Dashcam camera. It records everything. It's got all these buttons on the front here. So it records on I've got it on a 3-minute loop. It's got a shock sensor, so that if you have a crash, it automatically turns on and records, locks the recording. Yeah, it works as a mirror, obviously. And you probably can't see, but in that area there, oh, hang on, if I put the keys in, you'll see it. That is the screen for the forward-facing camera. Yeah, just turn it on and light it up. There it is. So there you go. That's it's a bit hard to see, but that screen is now showing the image out the front of the vehicle, which is the same as what it actually is. Old boat. So that's how that works. And it's set to go. I've only got it running for it runs for a minute, then it just goes. That screen switches off, but the camera keeps running. So during the night, it's okay during the daytime because you can actually use it as a mirror and you don't actually notice that image in the screen. But at night time, all you see is the screen. You can't see the mirror. So I've got it so that it automatically turns off at night, so that it's not distracting. Now, if we just hop outside again. And there's my little camera. It's got 3 spiders living in it, and 2 little lights, LED lights, but they're useless. A lot of people have trouble with these knobs, these buttons to open the boot. Like that. And you push it again, open the bottom one. Now, again, full of sand, so you just have to excuse me. I've got a boot liner in there. Yeah, none of this was prepared, so I haven't cleaned the vehicle or anything. This is just how she lives. Just this natural thing. While I'm looking at it too, another problem is the brake light. They've got a habit of falling out. It's not the brake light itself that's the problem. It's this, all this plastic. See, the screws are missing. It's because I've changed the way it holds this whole panel up. Because when I got the car, this was all fallen off. And it's because the plastic all just goes brittle and breaks. And the same thing for the brake light. The screws that hold that in, the brackets are simply broken off. Now I normally have a piece of, I've discovered this, that circuit board was broken. So I repaired it. It looks a bit dodgy, but it works. And then what I do is I stick a piece of foam in there. Rather than worry about trying to screw it up anymore, I put a piece of foam in to hold it up. It's not there at the moment because it also fell out while I was on the beach and it blew away in the wind. So I've got to get another one. So that's that. Getting back to the door latch, these buttons get water in them. Oh, sorry. Moving the camera. These buttons get water in them, and they're just an earth switch basically. So they're connected to power, which comes from the tail light cluster there, and then it runs to an actuator, which is right in the middle of the door there, and it's got rods that go to the to the catches on each side there and there. Now the actuator itself is electric. It's got a little electric solenoid which pulses one way to open the top door, and then again to open the bottom door. Now most of the time it's the knob, the button that packs up, but in my case that needed a bit of work, but I repaired that and it still had problems with with not being able to open it. So I took it all apart and took the actuator out, lubed it up and everything, and it's been perfect for 6 months now. But just in case it ever happens again, I don't know whether you can see that, I've drilled a hole in the carpet, in the panel, a little hole. Now most of the time you just can't see it, but it's there. And I know that if I poke a screwdriver in there or any other sharp object and flick it, I can open the door. So that's my emergency get out of jail card when I can't, you know, when it's all locked up, can't open the boot whatsoever, nothing works. At least I can put my screwdriver in there and I can unlock it from the inside. So I thought that was worth mentioning because I haven't seen that on any other YouTube videos or advice, Range Rover forums or anything anywhere else. But that's my answer to the problem. But since I've done that, of course, I haven't needed it. There's another thing I've discovered. It's a product, and it's readily available in the UK. You can get it here in New Zealand, but it's a bit harder to get. It's called ACF50. It's an anti-corrosion substance. I was going to say similar to WD-40, but it's not. It's almost creamy. It's like it's a lubricant. It's quite a greasy lubricant, but also it just stops corrosion dead. It doesn't get, nothing will corrode. It's used a lot in the UK for winterizing vehicles, particularly motorbikes. If you've got a motorcycle in the UK in the winter time and you want to ride it, you simply spray the entire bike with this stuff, all the metal bits, not the tyres, not the brakes obviously, and your bike will not corrode if you do it right. It'll last for years. So I use that on all my electrical stuff because, as anybody who owns Range Rovers know, they leak like a sieve. So everything gets water in it. For those who don't know, there's a CD. We've got a 6-disc CD stacker in there. Open the door, push the button. There's a cartridge, and it's got 6 CDs in it, funnily enough. And it works. You've got to be a little bit careful going over. Oh, now lady will pull it out, it won't go back in again. Oh, that's because it goes that way. If you go over big bumps, they skip a bit. But I have never, since I replaced the shock absorbers in this car, I haven't had a problem. I'll just show you what I've got underneath here. This is a dog lead and a block for the jack and the dog throw for the dog. The dog ball throw for the dog, sorry. I'll just show you what I've got under the floor. Now, I broke off this thing in a panic one day, broke off the handle, trying to get into the boot when I couldn't open the door. I was trying to break in from the inside and I broke it off. Never mind. So inside, just a typical thing. You've got your hydraulic jack. I've got another wooden block there just in case I need it. Chain there for towing. Need to hook on in unusual circumstances. It's just this block. It's got that on the end. Along the end, it's got a hook on that end. And so you can use it for towing other people, particularly if there's no good recovery point. Extra. I've got a tow ball with a interchangeable ball size on the ball. That's the 50mm ball. The one on the tow bar at the moment is the 1 7/8, which is most common. Jack, and then I've got all my recovery gear, which is not much. Tow ropes and straps go in there inside the spare wheel, and there's just a selection of ropes and straps for tying for trailers, and there's a tow rope there as well. I used to keep a towel in there to stop it rattling, but I had to use it the other day, so I haven't put it back in. So that's that. That tyre is still brand new. It's a Michelin. And I read the date on it the other day, and it's nearly 20 years, forgotten. I've actually forgotten, but it's very old. It has never been used. I think it's the original spare. Amazing, isn't it? Alright, so that's that. I'm talking about tyres too. At the moment, running these, you've probably got the shadow, 265 70/16s on 16-inch rims. Oops. These tyres came with the vehicle when I bought it. Now I took them off. Didn't like them. I didn't think I liked them because also when I bought the vehicle, the guy gave me a set of 20-inch rims with the low profile tyres on it, which I thought were much better, so I put them on, and they're great on the road. Really like them on the road, they went nicely, but off-road absolutely useless, because while they're good tyres with plenty of tread, they are no good in the sand because you can't get the pressures low enough, and I kept getting stuck on the beach. So I put these tyres back on and just running them at 30, I think I got 30 psi on the front and 35 in the back. Well, that's about all. Thanks very much for bearing with me while I talk about this whole thing. For most people you won't be interested, but for Range Rover people it might be of some interest. Or for someone thinking of buying one of these things and is not aware of the issues that come with them. But you know, if you understand them, like any vehicle, any old vehicle, once you understand them, figure out how they work, and get used to fixing them, they're no problem at all. So once again, thanks for watching my videos. Obviously, if you like them, please click the like button and subscribe and share it amongst your friends, particularly Range Rover people. That's all for now, so until next time, see you later.